So hi there, Connect and Grow friends. Welcome to our very first creative share. So the reason for the video, first of all, is that I've been experiencing terrible connectivity issues. So I do hope the video is easy to follow, which I'm sure it is. And I'm going to share why it is creative share for today. So it's an exercise that is part of my Little G and Me brand. So we will share creative activities. Pre-lockdown it was actually in person, but being within this environment where I need to work from the space I find myself in, well, therefore the share on this platform. But drawing and creative activity allows me to focus, concentrate, and in that I'm unwinding, and sneakily new ideas creep in, which inspires maybe another product or a next creative share. So, what I realized while practicing for this activity was I speak with my hands a hang of a lot. But while I'm drawing, guess what? The hands calm down. I am relaxed to the point that I zip my lips. So I get into the zone, and I promise you, it is a space you will love to explore more and more. But enough about that, and let's get started. So we have a few basic materials which I do know you will have around the house. So initially, to start off with, a basic ballpoint pen. I have brought some other fine liners along. So we have various tips should you have. Otherwise, not to bother. Pen will be perfect. And I've just found markers with various tips just to add to the experience of the line making. And then to draw circles. Freehand circles are quite all right, but then bottle caps. So you may just want to dash out and go and fetch your bottle cap. Nutella, I'm sure you guessed that was. And I keep this one just beside the bed. But anyways, some colors, which I'm going to say comes out of my daughter's stationery bag, but they secretly are mine. And we're about to get started. So you'll see this is a sampler of what I made the other day, and circles connected with lines. And our whole idea is that we're going to draw first a few basic circles, which we will connect with lines. And you will find you'll keep carrying on connecting and connecting, which we idly, or would be the actual purpose of Connect and Grow. So our smaller circles become bigger circles, and as we connect them one at a time. So, well, let's get started. So I'm going to use one of my shapes. And you'll see I've just used my basic A4 paper, whether you have an A5 sheet, an exercise book. To start off with, anything goes. So using the pen today, because I'm guessing most of you are going to be starting with a pen, we're just going to draw some random circles anywhere on our page. So I'm going to encourage you to get started. Once pen to paper, you will find it becomes easier. So I'm drawing a few random circles, and I will be adding a few different sizes of circles to my page. And as basic as it seems right now, I promise you it's going to look absolutely fabulous once it's done. So I encourage you to get into the zone. I'm actually going to be quiet. And you can pop a hand looking at my hands every now and again, and enjoy yourself. So we're not going to cover the entire page with circles, but let's see at least about 10 or 12 circles, different sizes, and let's start connecting. So everything is fairly random at this stage. And you will find that you may start seeing little patterns or developing patterns as you go along. So for now, I'm going to just start connecting all my circles, because that's essentially what we are doing by having our connect and grow sessions. Our small circles are maybe our little starter businesses. Our larger circles, definitely our more established and experienced friends. And we'll find that by networking like we do, we're just creating one beautiful community of circles and lines. And regardless of which point of the circle I'm joining things on, my small circle can connect to a larger circle, but as many times as a large circle can connect to a small one. So businesses are essentially never too large or too small to make those connections. So as I've connected all my circles, I am going to start finding little shapes to fill out with even more lines. So we are essentially all about lines connecting our circles. So I'll choose one particular section and let's start. So it's a fairly simple activity, just drawing lines. And I know it may be a little bit strange at first, but the more we practice, just like any activity, the easier it becomes. And some of you may be taken back to school, some basic geometry. But this is pretty abstract, so we're not particularly measuring any angles. And already you can see that we've created a little pattern of some sort. So I'm going to add a few freehand circles so you just get an idea of how easy it is to freehand our drawings with a bit of concentration and practice. You'll find that you are able to guide your hand but never be afraid to just start. Giving you a few more ideas of how to fill some spaces, and we'll see what happens from there. So usually when I work, I complete a little section totally and not leaving a little section incomplete. You can always go back and add to, but I do like to finish off a little spot. And that kind of takes me to, if I've set a little goal for myself, I try and complete it and not leave it halfway or incomplete. And I have to admit that I do sometimes develop a bit of a fear and I leave a task incomplete. So you can see just by adding lines, I'm starting to change my little basic shapes. So let's just see what else we could add. Some broken lines. I don't know about you right now, but the world is quieting down. I somehow feel calmer. And we'll try and tackle another spot and I'll give you something else to add in there. So some of you may have noticed that by using my lines I can create other shapes, and the easiest shape that I tend to be creating is a triangle, or I could possibly do a square. And just remember, I said there's no exact measurements in this one. I'm just using the eye because sometimes we are just needing to feel things as opposed to be very strict about measuring. Okay, so now you'll see that my lines have created some triangles. Let's go for another shape. So we may not complete our entire page during this session, but we definitely will start on something new. And I do encourage you to pick up pen and paper and doodle and draw often. Doodling just loosens up the brain, and we're all about needing to get our flow going and relaxing as we do it. So just all about adding some shapes. And if you feel you'd like to work in a pencil first, you may definitely go ahead and then just add in your permanent lines a little bit later. But I tend to just go straight on with my marker and surprise myself with the outcome. And I'm going to encourage just to carry on whatever comes to mind. Random is the order of the day. Okay, so I'm going to add a little bit of color just to give you an idea of what possibly could happen once we add color. The expectations, we're not making it an artwork, but it is going to come out like something really, really special because it is ours. And as I said in our little ad, that business is not all black and white. By adding a little bit of color, or just don't be afraid to add some color and variety to what you're doing. And I'm going to leave you with this now, because I believe an hour is sometimes the time it takes me to complete an A4 page, because once I start, I can't stop until I believe I'm done. So I love signing off my work and dating it, just so that I have a record of what I've done and when. And I say artists always sign off their work. So I'm going to just give my little squiggle and today's date. So from Little G and me, thank you. Enjoy.